In a series of tweets March 17 and 18, President Trump made a number of inaccurate or misleading statements about the investigations into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. As a reader service, here's a quick guide to his claims. The House Intelligence Committee made no such conclusion. The Republican majority offered a preliminary set of conclusions, released in a one-page summary of a draft 150-page report, which said they found no evidence of collusion, coordination, or conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. Democrats on the committee have said the investigation was still incomplete and key witnesses had not been interviewed. The House panel investigation has been deeply split along partisan lines from the start, in contrast to a parallel Senate probe. The president's sweeping attack on the FBI, Justice and the State Department appears to mostly refer to former FBI Director James Comey, who Trump fired in 2017, and former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe, who was fired late on March 16 for allegedly authorizing disclosures about the details of an investigation into the Clinton Foundation. Comey, after he was fired, passed a memo concerning a conversation with Trump to a professor, in hopes, he said, that it would be disclosed to the media. The reference to state is more obscure, but it may refer to contacts between two State Department officials and Christopher Steele, the former British spy who wrote the dossier that alleged connections between Trump and Russia. The question of McCabe's wife's political activities emerged during the campaign, and Trump constantly has gotten it incorrect. The timeline shows any connection to Hillary Clinton is pretty thin, though McCabe claims that Trump brought up his wife in almost every conversation. On March 12, 2015, Jill McCabe, a hospital physician, announced her candidacy for the Virginia Senate. The Political Action Committee of then-Gov. Terry McAuliffe, a close Clinton ally, gave $452,500 to McCabe, and the state Democratic Party gave her campaign an additional $207,788. That was about one-third of the $1.8 million budget for her campaign. Meanwhile, on March 2, 2015, the New York Times first reported on Clinton's email server setup while she was Secretary of State. At the time, McCabe's husband, Andrew McCabe, was running the FBI's Washington, D.C., field office. In July 2015, the FBI launched a criminal investigation of Clinton's server. The D.C. field office provided resources and personnel to the email probe. In September, Andrew McCabe moved to the FBI's headquarters, taking the No. 3 position. In November 2015, Jill McCabe lost her race. 3 months later, in February, Andrew McCabe became the FBI's deputy director and part of an executive team overseeing the Clinton email probe. In any case, it's hard to see how McAuliffe would know that the husband of someone he was supporting in a Virginia legislative race was going to be promoted months later. In 2016, reports emerged that the FBI was investigating $120,000 of donations to the McAuliffe's campaign and inauguration made by US-based companies controlled by Chinese businessman Wang Wenliang. No charges have been filed. There are so many things incorrect in this single tweet that it's hard to know where to begin. First, Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III was appointed because Trump fired Comey and then went on television and suggested it was because of the Russia probe. That left the Justice Department little choice but to appoint an independent prosecutor. Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself, so the decision was made by Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. Mueller's probe has yielded concrete evidence of Russian meddling, including the indictments of Russian individuals and entities. Second, the investigation did not start with the dossier written by Steele. Steele was working for political research firm Fusion GPS, which has a contract with a law firm that worked for the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. Instead, it was a tip from the Australian government, which notified U.S. authorities about a drunken conversation between a Trump campaign aide, George Papadopoulos, and an Australian diplomat in May. Papadopoulos claimed the Russians had political dirt on Clinton. The memo released by the Republican majority of the House Intelligence Committee, which Trump has approvingly cited, confirms the counterintelligence investigation into Russian meddling began in July 2016, because of the tip about Papadopoulos. The information in the dossier only came to the attention of the FBI later. Third, there is no evidence the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act (FISA) application to monitor Carter Page was used to spy on the Trump campaign. On September 26, 2016, Page announced he was taking a leave of absence from the campaign. On October 21, the FBI